reviews with your host, the nfromo, or Newbie from Outdoors, if you like it that way. Today's game on the chopping block is Metrovania / hack and slash game known as Blasphemous. We're going to start off with the gameplay. The gameplay of this game is pretty decent for what it offers. I won't say like it's revolutionary, but it feels solid enough. It's simple combat. It's a 3 combo system with jump, with mat, with fervor and stuff of that nature. It upgrades to 4. You have a down combo special and an up combo special. You go to airstrike. It has the collectibles in this game have an actual use case. In this game, they increase your health, they increase your stuff, then you get items, you get this, you get that. It has a purpose. It's not every collectible has a purpose, except for one sort of collectible, and that's the skin collectibles. There's a couple that are on 8, I think. When you get through a mini game and stuff of that nature. The bosses, for most of the time, except for 2, felt very fair. Very okay. I can do it. Okay, it's a little annoying, but I can probably do it. I think except for 3 bosses, I think. But the last boss is more of a very story-based boss. So, like in most Metrovania type of games, or most action-based games like Jedi, Fallen Order, there's progressional items you need to, if you want to get some collectible, you gotta backtrack and stuff like this. This game has a huge hub area where everything is connected, like Bloodborne, like Dark Souls. Everything is connected. You can go back to where you were. In the normal playthrough of the game, it's not like Dark Souls where you lose all your souls or whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called. I just call them souls because it's just a Dark Souls terminology that still sticks with me. Every time you die, you lose your mana pool, right? So you cannot use certain sorts of mana for prayer beads in this game are basically buffs and perks, which can be important in some situations. There's a situation where special DLC like the Miriam from Bloodborne DLC. I've seen a lot of people complain about it, but here's the funny thing about it. There are 3 items, 3 prayer beads, literally 3 of them that basically nullifies the difficulty. You might die a couple of them, but you shouldn't die that much. If you want to see what I'm talking about, look at my speedrun video that's coming in a couple of weeks. There are pretty cool Easter eggs in this game. There's a Berserk Easter egg, I think. There's an NES style pixel art type of mini game. Gameplay is pretty solid. Good amount of mana techniques, but in actuality, there's 2. There's literally 2 that are most important, which are you're protected from any sort of damage, which is up and I think you can get it really early on. Yeah, it feels like a solid 2.0. The thing I don't give it a 2.5, it doesn't change. The reason I don't give it a 2.5 because it does not change. It does not revolutionize the style. It does not revolutionize the genre. You know what I mean? What is different? What does it make it? Why is your gameplay? No, it has skills and stuff like that. This game has a skill system. Pretty honestly, there's about maybe 1 or 2 skills I want. Most of the time, I'm just normal melee combat. Upgrade. There's a story for the upgrades. There's like dialogue for the upgrades. You're amazed. Well, yeah, only one of the upgrades. Yeah, it has some fucking lore in the fucking upgrade, which is amazing. Yeah, the gameplay feels like a solid. It delivers the standard of what is required for most of these Metrovania and hack and slash games. If it delivers the standard, you'll be satisfied with the gameplay. You won't be blown away, but satisfied. So, in my opinion, it deserves a 2.0 because it satisfies the minimum requirements the standard requires to have fun with the game. Let me start off by saying about the story is they released 2 free DLCs that expands the story. This adds bosses and it adds a new true ending. The true ending to lead to Blasphemous 2. The side quest in the game is one of the most useful things you can do in this game. Because it requires you to do a side quest. As doing the side quest actually has a purpose to unlocking more slots of your prayer beads. That's one of the another side quest. One of the best prayers in the one. Is it called prayers? One of the best abilities in the game. It's useful. And it gives more lore reason. There's voice acting. There's voice acting in English and Spanish. I would suggest English. This game does have messable cycle, but I don't like missable side quest, but I understand in this sort of game missable side quests because it's a very, 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 very gruesome type of world. I never expected from pixel art. It shows the gruesomeness at the start. At the start, they're not gonna play around. No, they're gonna show how in the intro segment. They're gonna show you instantly how gruesome the game is. It captures your attention instantly. Story-wise, this game felt like a God of War and Dark Souls quality level of storytelling, story and graphics. I consider graphic quality part of the story. Graphics and story has this level. The setting showed the beauty of the game. The backgrounds, bro. The backgrounds look beautiful. The environment look beautiful. The enemy designs look beautiful. There's flavor text for each item. And every NPC that's talkable have some sort of backstory. Some backstory that is realistic enough where you understand it. The free DLC they added 4 boss fights. But here's the problem. There's a specific item that can basically nuke all the boss fights. But the boss fights were fair. And in fact, most of their techniques were dodgeable. The fights for the Amidala DLC that they added, the 4 fights plus the final boss fight were fair. That's the beauty of it. Fair boss fight. And I think that's the Dark Souls quality of tough enemies. Fair boss fights. This sort of game showed me this game. No other indie game in the world that I have played. This specific game showed me quality. The quality they can produce. It's not a roguelike. This is how we do a story. We are on their level. And that's what Blasphemous showed. We are on Dark Souls level. We are on God of War level. We are on their level in story-wise. And they showed we are on their level. And this is from an indie studio. I don't know how many people are working on it, but it can't be more than 100. This is a game I would recommend people who like Dark Souls. Like if you like gruesome stuff, I would recommend this is Dark Souls level of quality. Play it. If you like Dark Souls, if you like Bloodborne, play this game. It might not be 3D, but play this game. They encapsulated the soul of Dark Souls in their 2D Metroidvania hack and slash adventure. They captured the essence of Dark Souls. This is what this game did. Imagine that. If I'm saying that, I love Bloodborne. This is the closest Souls game I have played that reaches that quality. I don't understand nothing about the story, but I'm damn near excited for Blasphemous 2. I'm ecstatic for Blasphemous 2. Because how they made the story. Like my heart is pounding for Blasphemous 2, bro. If this is what they can produce, and only if they can produce the same level of quality, the same level of dedication, the same level of passion for Blasphemous, we have a contender. We have a pretty good Game of the Year contender. My first two, I rate this story-wise at a 2.5 because to me they made me look at the indie genre different. They made me say this is the quality indie game. This is what we can do if we have the talent. This is what we can do if we have the passion. As you guys may know, I believe music should influence this scene. I don't believe music should overpower. I feel like this game, the music fits it. During special events, cutscenes, it fits very well. Sound effects has gotten decent. Just nothing popped out for me. It's like it's not a big thing for music in this game. It felt decent. It fit the theme, but I don't remember anything. I had nothing. No music can come to my mind except for the special events and stuff like that, like the true ending, the ending of the true ending. Like nothing sticks out for me, and because it wasn't jarring and nothing sticks out, I give it a 2.0. It's not bad, it just fits. It's not like nothing jarring, it's not nothing laggy and stuff of that nature. This game runs at a solid 60 FPS, probably 4K, 1080p 4K. It's a PS4 game, something like that. I think to me, my personal belief is after 1080p and after 60 FPS, anything after that, I believe falls into the realm of redundancy. Get the mostly hardcore people that want more frames per second, but if you can maintain a stable 60 FPS and 1080p, that's all that matters, especially for an indie game. I had a problem with this game. It feels like it's something like motion blur. It just felt slow, like when you move. It could be smoothing. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's like sometimes my eyes couldn't focus because blurring caused. It feels like it was slowing down. I really do not know why, and that's my biggest gripe. Because I quit the game at the start. I quit it 2-3 times, and I came back to it. It just felt it felt like it was 60 FPS, but there was some sort of blurring attached, and I couldn't disable it. I don't know why. Yeah, I feel like it's a 2.0 because my eyes could get used to it, but it was still annoying, still giving me. It was basically something I didn't want to deal with. We're going to talk about price point. The game is MSRP at $24.99. In your local area, it might be different, but in the US, it's $24.99. But with indie games, they go on sale really cheaply, really quickly. Give it about 3-4 months, 6 months, maybe a year. You probably can get it at sale on Steam, probably on PlayStation. And Xbox probably different. Xbox probably Game Pass, because we know how it is with Game Pass. Get the back. I feel like this game feels like a $20 game. Most indie games go up to 15, right? The really good ones go up to 20. Like 15 for the average, just normal survival type of shelling. This game, it has issues. It had issues at the start. From what I heard, it had loads of bugs. To me, it was a sweet spot. If you get the game at 25, I feel like it's a little pushing it. At 25, like in my notes, I said because it's indie, you have to put the justification. Do you trust the studio? I've never heard of the studio before. $20, go get it. Anyone can say at 20. But I think even if you buy 5, they still support it for 3 years. I think the first year was all the bug fixing. Year 2 and 3, they released the DLC, which is respectable free DLC to come. Yes, we messed up at the start. We want to give you some bonuses. Here's some DLC out of our own pockets, whatnot and what forth. I'm just going to subtract a 0.5 from the score. It feels right. It's not like how Tokyo RPG Factory overprices their game like crazy. Like, what the fuck? My final score for Blasphemous sits at that damn well 8.0. I would have said at 8.5 if it was $20. The game has an awesome story. Top of the line, A tier and S tier. Decent music that most people will enjoy. It's not bad, but it's not amazing. It sits in the middle. It's not mediocre, but it sits at a good range. Gameplay fits as Metroidvania hack and slash, but I think it doesn't revolutionize it. It doesn't change it. It doesn't improve on the old formulas. That's okay if you don't change it, but you have to understand that most people, like hopefully in Blasphemous 2, from what I'm seeing, they change it. I might give that a 2.5 once I play it, if they change it enough. S tier graphics. I don't rate it, but graphics become subjective on the story you tell. Graphics have to fit. This game is a perfect example of what an indie studio can do. It's the A1 example of what an indie studio can do. And I'm excited for the next game, Blasphemous 2, and you should be as well. Now everyone, I would suggest you pick up this game before Blasphemous 2 comes out. If Blasphemous 2 is as good as this or better, we have a contender in the Dark Souls space. We have a contender in the Metroidvania space. Get this game. It is worth it, just on the story. If you like Bloodborne, if you like Dark Souls, get this game, bro. This is nfromo, and this is Pulsing Reviews. Thank you for tuning into the review, and have a nice day.